All right, you guys are live.
Okay, I call the meeting to order today, Friday, April 10th, 2020 at 2:10 p.m. Roll call, we have Selectman Howdy Goodwin.
Here.
Mike Mansalilli.
Here.
Mackenzie Jewett.
Here.
Kevin Buck.
Here.
Myself, Jamie Thurlow. And Town Manager Chris Saunders and Town Clerk Katie Danderand. All right, adoption of agenda. Is there anything anyone would like to change on the agenda? Okay, I guess we'll go on to regular business, COVID-19 update. Do you want to start, Chris, with that, or do you want to, I didn't know, I haven't spoken with Keith either in the last probably week, so I didn't know if anybody had any updates.
I would just say that things are continuing to go as normal as they can in these unusual circumstances. Town staff has been fantastic. They've been responsive to, one of the worst storms of the season here in early April. Did a great job plowing this storm last night. Office staff also doing doing well, handling calls as they come in, being responsive to folks as they continue to do what business is necessary with the town. Regarding specifically the items that you requested at your last meeting, I'm sure you have all seen the banners that are at each of the entrances to the town, as well as the one at the town office. Nothing has changed regarding the head of the island sign. I requested MDOT and Bar Harbor. I never heard back from Bar Harbor, and I did hear back from MDOT. They just said that they had no plans to put one at the head of the island, that they thought that the one at the Trenton airport was enough. And that's when I contacted our state representative, who I believe has done some follow-up, but I have not heard any update on that. And then I notified our board and committee chairs that they should conduct their meetings via virtual meeting platforms like Zoom.
Okay, good. How is everything is going good with the crew? Obviously, they, inside the office, I should say, outside of the office. And by the way, they did do an awesome job on the roads. I had to drive home from doing a quick grocery pickup last night, and the roads were a mess off the island. And that was good that they cleaned it up and did a good job, and they were quick about it. So, but inside the office, everything's going good. Everything's working as usual, and no complaints. Everybody seems to be happy with how it's going.
Yeah, I talked to everybody. I was in the office 4 days this week, and when I'm not in the office, I call in the morning and the afternoon, and it seems like things are definitely a lot slower than they normally are, but I'm glad that they're here, because we do get enough calls that it's very good that somebody is here.
Yeah, good. Keith, do you have anything that you want to add for an update?
Sure. I don't know if you guys know, but every morning, all the island fire chiefs and EMS chiefs, we do a roll call to make sure our staffing and anything that we're coming across has been working out pretty good, and staffing stayed really consistent. Some things I want to mention is that we keep stressing all our staff and people that even though it's really quiet, it doesn't mean that safety levels have increased. It just means that that we need to still can't become basically complacent. We need to keep on the game until we're told otherwise. We've also been discussing getting expenses reimbursed through the state and through the county. Our fire department's seen very little expense. We bought a lot of safety equipment that we have on hand, but departments like Mountain Desert have spent a fair amount of money on staffing, so they're going to look to try to get reimbursed for some of that. So there's plenty of avenues for that. And then I don't know how many. I think most of you are on Facebook, but the fire shared a picture of the banner and a notice online, and that went really well received, and I think it's been shared like several hundred times. So it's kind of neat to see what other people's opinions are. I think you guys are ahead of the curve, and the signs were really well received. So a couple things I did want to mention is that the dispatchers for EMS are sharing a protocol called U21. A lot of people think if they hear that over the scanner that means the patient is a positive COVID-19 patient, but we're trying to stress that that's just an indicator to let people know that they've either traveled, they have breathing problems, or they have a symptom of one of the questions that they're asking. It doesn't mean that it's confirmed that they have COVID-19. It's just to give the EMS or responders kind of a heads up. So if you're hearing that yourself, then try to discredit people from making assumptions that that's what it means. And the only other thing I want to touch base is that Kennebunkport has, they've tried to petition the state to have all of the positive patients' 911 addresses released. A bunch of the other cities and towns in the state are trying to do that. I personally feel patients have rights and privacy, and they should be able to disclose to us ourselves, but there is movement across the state, not that the general public and everybody has that address, but the dispatch center will have that information. So that might be one of the next things we see. But other than that, we had a tree come down last night. I had a dozen calls to my house. But by the time I got a hold of Justin, the highway department had already moved it out of the way. So that was pretty good. So, all right.
Good. Thank you, Keith. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about with it? Or I think everything seems to be going pretty good. And
I'd just like to say that 17 of the cases were out-of-staters that we've had lately. I don't know if you guys saw that, but 17 of the cases in Maine are from people from out of state.
Yeah.
Confirmed, non-residents. So it's not a good thing. We've also got a fourth case in Hancock County they just posted. So I mean, that's kind of slow. I don't see it coming real fast, but still it's another case.
Yep.
I just posted that an hour ago.
The sign at the airport, I actually got a grocery pickup yesterday, which is hard to do nowadays. And the DOT sign is there, like they said, but it's turned, so the only people that are seeing that sign is if you got off a flight, you're coming out of, the driveway to the airport. It's not turned. So, I mean, even if they left it there and they could like turn it just a little bit, or, I mean, I can't imagine a lot of flights are coming in right now, so you get more exposure if it was turned to the main part of the road, but
Yeah.
maybe not.
So the 4 people a day that are flying in.
Right. They're going to see it and they're going to be like, oh, okay, but nobody else is seeing it.
I was wondering about that. That's when I did the grocery pickup was late last night, and it was the last one in the evening. I thought maybe they turned it off
I don't
in the
think
evening,
so.
but I couldn't see it from that side coming. I could only, so I thought
It
it
was
might.
in Ellsworth at like 2 o'clock yesterday, so it was the middle of the day. So
Yep.
yeah, so yes, if you're getting off a plane, you're going to catch it pretty well, but nobody else is. But
If the taxi driver reads it to you.
right. I mean, if DOT could just turn it, I mean, you could still leave it in the same place, but I know we've tried the DOT, so we get what we get sometimes.
Another interesting study I was reading put Maine at the bottom of the list for risk of transmission of it. I thought that was kind of cool to know that they, these professionals that research this sort of thing think that we're low risk for it. So we're lower risk.
That's because 6 feet crowding your personal space in that.
All right. Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can do about that sign up there. I think that I mean, you've already reached out to him, Chris. You've done more than, you've done all that we've asked, and that's all you can do. And if they don't want to put a sign up, then that's their own thing, I guess. So.
We tried, right?
Yep.
So what are they doing? Keith might be able to answer this one, but what are they doing for people that Are they testing people at MDI hospital for it now?
Chris, do you want to answer that or not? Or I think that was right. But I
Yeah,
know they have a testing tent.
hospital?
There's a testing tent set up. I'm not sure where it is there. It's by Cooper Gilmore, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, there's a couple tents set up at the hospital that folks are being directed if they have symptoms. If they do have underlying health symptoms that they would not want them to go to the tent, like if they're, let's say they had COPD or something along those lines, and they're not sure whether they're positive, so they don't want to put them at higher risk of catching it if they don't have it, then what they'll do is they'll have them report to one of the clinics, and then the clinic will take them into a designated room. The a healthcare provider will wear full personal protective equipment and go into that room, and then they'll fully sanitize the room and leave it vacant for a certain period of time afterwards. But that's my understanding of what the hospital's doing.
Is that something like that the patient's responsible for, or is that something the government's paying for at this time?
Meaning what?
If I just, I've seen pictures on TV, people lining up is testing sites and stuff. Is that something that the government's paying for the tests, or is that?
I assume that it's some combination of insurance and hospital funding, but I'm at that one.
I know we talked about at one point that the government was going to pay for it. I didn't know if that ever went through. They were going to guarantee testing people because.
Heard they shut off funding it today. The feds.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's true, but I heard it on the radio earlier.
All right. Well, is there anything you've got, Howdy? I was going to say, you're the only one I haven't heard a word out of.
Well, I'm just listening. We're talking about everything but what we need to know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I was going to say, if that's everything that everybody's got, then I guess we done with this topic for today. Okay. Suggestions for the next meeting? Next meeting date.
I'll make a motion to confirm the date of the next meeting for Friday, April 17th, 2020 at 2 p.m. via Zoom with meeting ID 899-857-7726.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to confirm the date of the next meeting for Friday, April 17th, 2020 at 2 p.m. via Zoom with meeting ID 899-857-7726. Is there any discussion?
I just wanted to ask, do you have a sense of how much longer do you want to do these, or just keep doing them until you don't think it's necessary anymore?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask is, I thought we had one on this coming Monday, but we don't have a standard meeting this coming Monday. Okay. Would you guys, it's up to everyone, I guess, but would you rather meet on the following Monday at a normal time, or do you think we should still meet on Friday afternoon, or it's up to you, I guess. It's up to everybody.
I kind of think that we don't have to meet every Friday if everything kind of keeps staying like it has been. I mean, maybe every Friday isn't totally necessary.
I kind of agree with Mackenzie on that. I do like late in the day Mondays better than Fridays at 2 going forward, because I think, at least with me, and I don't know how the rest of you feel, but things are going to could get a little bit busier for us, and it's going to be harder to make a 2 o'clock meeting on a Friday.
My gut feeling is I don't think we need to have additional meetings unless something comes up at this point. I think the regular meeting schedule, and unless there's a reason to do something, you could just call a meeting a couple days, Jamie.
If there's anything that comes up, I can call a meeting in a hurry. I'd let everybody know anyway. If there's something emergent, we can take care of it quickly as we need to. But if you guys are fine with that, then I just assume put it off until that next Monday and put it at the normal time of 5 or Chris?
Sorry, it's that Monday is actually Patriots Day, and so it feels silly to have holidays right now. Everything is weird, but your normal schedule called for it to be on that Tuesday.
The 21st.
Then anybody have any big plans for Patriots Day?
Marathon's canceled.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
anyone's
well,
running the
that's all right.
marathon.
It's up to you guys. If you, Chris, do you have any plans? Like, why, if you could do it on that Monday, or?
Yeah, I could do it on that Monday.
Okay.
Well, I would recommend though. I post your annual schedule at all the post offices at the beginning of the year, and it had that one has the 21st on it.
Okay.
I mean, I just
Let's
encourage
do
you
the
to keep to
21st
that
then.
for public information purposes, but that's the only reason.
Okay. So,
Want me to take back my motion?
Yeah, we could just vote it down.
Yeah,
Vote it down.
yeah. All those in favor?
exactly.
Let's see. All those opposed? Howdy.
No.
Okay. Mike,
No,
Mackenzie,
No.
Kevin,
I'm opposed.
myself is opposed.
Sorry, Mackenzie.
Yes.
Guys.
So the new one would be Tuesday, April 21st at, you guys still want to do the 5? Does that work good for everybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tuesday, April 21st at 5.
We'll let you make the motion again, Mackenzie.
Okay. I'll make a motion to confirm the date of the next meeting for Tuesday, April 21st at 5 o'clock via Zoom with same meeting ID.
Yes.
With meeting ID 899-857-7726.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to confirm the date of the next meeting for Tuesday, April 21st, 2020 at 5 p.m. via Zoom with meeting ID number 899-857-7726. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, howdy.
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Mackenzie,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
myself is yes. Okay, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, howdy.
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Mackenzie,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
myself is yes. All right, well, if anything comes up in the meantime, then obviously I'll let you guys know anyway, and we can always have an emergency meeting if we need to, if anything changes. And if anything changes in the office or with the town crew, just let me know, Chris, and we'll do it as quickly as we can. I'm sure all of us are pretty flexible right now on being able to meet, so. Yeah, and thank the guys again for doing a good job with the roads. That it really did stand out with and everywhere. It's just, I drove home and it was pretty nasty out. All right.
Yay.
Okay.
See everybody later.
See ya. Be safe, everybody.